Efecto Cascada.
Un podcast de Sploro.
Dear Explorers, welcome to the fourth episode of this new stage of Sploro, EFECTO CASCADA, a podcast where we will dive into the fascinating world of innovation, offering practical advice, interviews with entrepreneurs, and cascade funding opportunities. We will focus on current issues in the digital sector, video games, and the latest technologies. So, from our headquarters in Pamplona, we have the ambition to reach the entire world starting from European Union projects. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Paula Ostid, Communications Manager from Sploro, and it's a pleasure to host this podcast. So today, in our fourth episode, we're kicking off a new section, Remote Podcast, as you may see here. Also, as you may have noticed, this episode is in English, because as we told you in the first episode, depending on the guests that are invited, we will switch onto one language or the other. But yeah, if you have any issues, make sure to go to YouTube and activate subtitles in any of your preferred languages. Right, so this time we'll delve into the fascinating world of project management with two amazing guests that are here with me, who are part of the official consortia of these two key European projects that we're about to introduce, and that Sploro is working hand to hand to make them a reality and achieve their goals. So on the one hand, we will look onto womentecheurope.eu, a project that aims to support women leaders in deep tech startups in Europe, helping them to become the tech leaders of tomorrow, putting women at the center of technological innovation in Europe. And on the other hand, there's pqreact, an initiative that is designing, developing, and validating post-quantum cryptography framework in a world where digital security is increasingly crucial. So these agents are working to make a reality essential to ensure that our communications remain secure in the age of quantum computing. We're honored to have here with us Maja Horvat and Ihnen. So hi, girls. They are two exceptional project managers at the helm of these projects that are not the future of technology, but also significantly important, driving digital inclusion and security in Europe. So we will discuss their career paths, how they made it into the world of project management, and explore the challenges and accomplishments that they've encountered in their projects and their lives in general. So let's get started, girls. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Paula. Thank you for
girl.
the invitation to join this podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for being with us today. It's a great pleasure. So let's get started with who are you guys? If you don't mind introducing yourselves to our listeners, we would love to share a bit about yourselves.
Okay. My name is Maja, as Paula already said, and we are colleagues at Sploro. But I am personally sitting in Slovenia, meaning I'm a remote part of the team. Hence the title of the podcast, as Paula mentioned. I joined Sploro particularly in May full-time. Before I was working a little bit like half-time or part-time, but I am in the project management for now it's going to be more than 4 years, I think. But yeah, my background actually comes from completely different sphere. It's engineering. I'm a landscape architect by profession. My working experience ranges from very different types of sectors, and I've kind of gained these not overview, but the variety of sectors I think helped me to become a better project manager, because in my opinion, a project manager's skills is one of the important skills is that we have this ability to create order in the chaos. So, and to find different links from let's say different sectors or people or teams, and then make it into something that actually makes sense and create something great out of it.
That's great. How about you, Christine?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, I really can relate to what Maja, you just explained the chaos, like as a project manager. And also, like similar as Maja, I'm actually coming from a total different background. So in the last 3.5 years, I was working as a project manager of European projects, but this was in a different framework. So this framework was in Erasmus Plus. So originally, I come from the educational sector, where I especially focus on the improvement of vocational education and training, and this especially on international level. So, and this year, like now since almost 3 months, I made a shift towards the sector and also the European funded program that I'm working in. So yes, since June, I'm here with Sploro. I'm one of your colleagues, and I'm really pleased to be so. So the framework, or let's say the European program that I'm now working in, so we are all working in, is Horizon. So it's the big twist to the European funded program Erasmus Plus. Yes, so also like a bit similar to Maya's experience. So now I'm in a different sector, focusing on digitalization and technology.
So you both said that you come from completely different backgrounds, but was there a specific momentum or events that influenced you onto making this decision?
For me, it was actually when I got one of my, I think it was 2 jobs back. I started working particularly on European projects. And at the beginning, it was all too overwhelming because this mechanism of the European Commission and European funds is quite complex thing. Even a lot of people, they are underestimating it, in my opinion. But once you get into it, you see, I see so many possibilities. And then because I try to see the positive in everything. So then you see how many like funds are available for research, for innovation, and then you meet the people on the other side who are actually doing the proposals and applying for these funds, and it's just amazing. I mean, like I was getting more and more into it while understanding the mechanisms better. And having this contact with the stakeholders or the people who were applying for these funds, that's actually what then kind of inspired me, as this is something I really am passionate about, kind of helping people, empowering people. And then going in the next job, I was working in cybersecurity sector, which was actually next level, and I became an active part in the Women for Cyber Foundation or initiative. I helped establish the national chapter in Slovenia. And now in Sploro, having contact with all these deep tech startups and specifically women-led deep tech startups, I don't know, for me, it's just, this is what drives me and motivates me, because I see how many amazing ideas people have, and that to think that I am the one that can actually enable or empower them, this is actually what inspires me and kicks me out of bed in the morning. It's like, I'm doing something good for the future of society. So yeah, that's my view on it.
Yeah, you're literally in touch with these innovators, and you can be the medium that makes their dreams come true somehow. And what about you, Christine?
Like I always had a huge interest in, let's say, changing the status quo. So wherever I have been, and I have seen untouched potential of innovation and improvement. Yes, I always had this big desire to somehow also have a positive impact of the world on the world of tomorrow. So let's say really taking part of it, not just by watching and letting the big players do, let's say. So yes, of course, but as great visions also require big actions. Let's say after my studies. So I studied political science and law, and I focused on Europe, mainly on European politics. I actually moved to Spain because I had the great chance to become, let's say, sponsorship in the European Solidarity Corps. So this is another framework of the European Union that is funded by Erasmus Plus also. So, and before I came to Spain, I was taking part in in an internship, let's say. Yes, it was somehow like this in development policy. So somehow, yeah, everything connected. And yes, when I had this good and great chance to be part of the European Solidarity Corps, this is when I then moved to Spain, and I got in touch with all of these great mechanisms, and also, of course, especially the great funding opportunities that the European Union is offering to us. So this is also when my desire to grow in this field actually intensified. Also, like during my time in these European Solidarity Corps, I had great projects that also led similar as Maja's experience, let's say, to like bigger envisions, let's call it like that. Maybe later at what point I can talk more about this experience I had.
Yeah, that's great, Christina. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, before we keep moving, how about you give a brief description about what's actually project management and what does it take? Like, because we are assuming that our listeners know who a project manager is.
As I mentioned before, how I see it is just like a person that can make order in the chaos, but also the way how you do it is the difference between a good project manager and an annoying project manager, because a lot of times automatically when people hear, yeah, I'm a project manager, oh, you're the person who just bombards us with the tasks and emails and do this and do that. But I think the important, and at least I'm talking from my experience, like the important thing is what kind of relationship you establish with your team or with the stakeholders. And once you get to this point of understanding, okay, everything is in relationships. So if I have good relationships, then my job will be much easier, as if, they would see me as their, let's say, enemy or dictator that's just annoying them on what to do.
It's what Maja also pointed out, like it's not only about, let's say, managing time, managing conflicts. This is actually a big point that, that is part of project management. And but besides of that is, of course, like also like trying to create a good atmosphere in the team. And also an important point is the interest you have in the project. Because if you are like, with some partners that's, let's say, receive funds, but the interest maybe is like low, let's say, it can get really complicated to achieve great project outcomes and outputs. So this is actually one of the most difficult parts, I would say. It's like somehow guiding the team, let's say, towards a great outcome of the project, the goal to achieve the goal and the output that the project itself set in the beginning. So it's like, a journey somehow, let's say also.
Do you consider in these two initiatives that we're going to present, there are certain skills that you have to have in hand to handle it better?
I think also one of the things that help us project managers is if we are curious. If you are always open to learn new things, to be willing, to say this adds a little bit extra of, workload, let's say, to your everyday work. But at the same time, you're also gaining new knowledge, and like, what is better than that? Also, it adds to your confidence as, how you talk to the stakeholders. Because I remember when I entered the cybersecurity field, I was like, I'm not going to talk to anyone about the content because right. They will just see that I have no idea what's going on. But then I started taking courses. There's so much, content online that you can access. And then I did the certification, the basic one, but still, then you started getting into the conversations with people, and it gets easier. It gets more interesting. It pulls you in. So there certainly are specifics to the field, but I love it because it's not your background, and you just by talking to a certain, let's say, deep tech startup, they tell you what they're working on, and you're just like, wow, really? This is what people are dealing with, or like this is the problem that you're solving? It never even came to my mind. So it's just like, for me, it's just this expansion. Yeah, it can be overwhelming sometimes, but you also need to take it step by step and not be too hard on yourself. And me and Christine, we know what that means. Huh?
Okay, girls, so let's move to the actual topic of today, which are these two projects. And if you don't mind, Maja, we're starting with you. So let's move to womentecheurope.eu, one of the most important initiatives that Sploro has ever worked with. And also, this one is finally putting women at the center of technological innovation in Europe. So can you please explain to our audience what womentecheurope.eu is and what are the main goals of this initiative, please?
With pleasure. I really love working on this project, even though it's quite a bit to chew. But this also shows us that there was a need for such a project. So it's one of the biggest projects, not just in Sploro, but also on European level, we can say, and I'm not bragging, it's a fact. It's actually a 2-year EU-funded project, and normally the projects are 3 years, but in this case it's 2 years, so it's very intense. But we are trying to support women that are leading deep tech startups in Europe. And why did we decide that this is an important issue? Because if you look at the statistics, women in deep tech or in technology in general are represented in very small numbers. Plus the startup world, as we all know, it's very harsh. And getting the funding, working on your startup idea, it's not an easy task. And we also know that women and men, yes, we are equal, but we are not the same. So a lot of times men would go for, let's say, to talk to venture capitalists, investors, and they would be more, let's say, aggressive, not in a bad way, just like they are go-getters. And a lot of times women then are kind of left behind because we just give space to others. But with this project specifically, we wanted to create a space or a platform where we would attract women, because we know there are so many amazing ideas and so many amazing women out there who have who are working on things that are actually contributing to society, So what we are trying to achieve with the project is that we will support, like in the whole span of 2 years, there will be 160 beneficiaries selected, but we cut them into in 4 open calls in these 2 years. So in each call, we will select 40 winners, and then what they get out of it is non-dilutive finance, meaning that we give them 75,000 euros without telling them how and when they have to invest or use it. They are the CEOs and founders of their startups, so they know best. We believe that they know best where these funds should go to. But at the same time, we are also supporting them with the program of services, which we think is also very important, because yeah, it's great that you get money, but sometimes you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need skills that you don't know maybe where to get them, or you don't have time, or you don't have money for it. And here they get this package in one. We do take time, to get to know them, their needs, and then we kind of tailor the program of services to their needs, so that we can best kind of facilitate their growth, because the main objective behind it is to empower those women. Our society is very much biased towards male thinking. So the research on medical, agriculture, everywhere comes from majority of how men are thinking, what their needs are. We see that women need this space that is kind of, let's say, reserved for them. And we say, like, come, this is where you can apply. This is your space, and just go for it. 160 women-led startups will be supported with funds and, program of services. So if we are talking concrete results, this is going to be the outcome. And with this, of course, hopefully they contribute to the deep tech landscape, with their projects. But otherwise, it's also about just because of the fact that this program exists and people know about it, and more women, know about it. Like we just had an info day this weekend. We had, I think, more than 200 attendees. So they're interested. So if and I think European Commission already knows, because this is the second version of this program, which was already running in the past. So they recognized and they are willing to invest a lot of money. So we're kind of having this, we say cascade funding, but this is a cascade effect also. Why is there such a huge interest in this? And how can we kind of, let's say, mitigate or enable that there will be more opportunities like this? Maybe not just targeted to women, but we know that women are amazing also in technology or in deep tech. So we need this landscape. We need to support them.
Yeah, this is women entrepreneurs. It's going to be, I bet from now on, a really relevant domain when it comes to deciding when's the Cascade funds gonna be destined to. So yeah. You told us, Maja, what excites you the most, and also connecting it with why are you an actual project manager? But what's your actual role here in this project? Would like to know.
Both me and Christine, we are actually in Sploro specialized for the Cascade funding, mechanisms. And what we are also specialized in is open calls. What we do is we facilitate the open calls, which means we are trying to make life simpler for the deep tech startups to get the funds. Getting funds from European Union is quite a complex process. It's long, people underestimate it. There's a lot of effort and time going into it, and a lot of companies, especially SMEs, the small companies that are short on staff, short on funds, short on everything, they don't have time and capacity to do it. So what we want to do is bring it closer to them.
These projects that in the end, those small companies, startups, researchers, they will do, of course, like, let's say, the achievements will directly have an effect on our project itself. So it's like a benefit on both sides, and especially also we want to contribute to the development of these newcomers, let's say, by these open calls, which is really important.
We also have this one open call, which is the kickoff open call. And well, we just know the name, but we don't really understand what this concept means. Here's pqreact, and Christine is one of the main roles here, managing the project. So Christine, would you mind, not just the audience, but me, can you please explain, first of all, what's pqreact, and then what's post-quantum cryptography, please?
So post-quantum cryptography refers actually to cryptographic algorithms that are designed to be secure against the potential threats posed by quantum computers. So, maybe like unlike classical computers that we are used to use, let's say quantum computers use the principles of quantum mechanisms to perform calculations, let's say different algorithms, which actually potentially can break many of those cryptographic protocols that currently secure all of our digital communications. So this means that in the future, although practical quantum computers are still like in development, the progress in quantum computing means that we now must start to prepare ourselves against those threats. Because if quantum computers were already available, let's say, they could be meant to break current methods and algorithms that are actually like a big threat to sensitive data, like financial transactions and government communication, as well as, of course, what is not what is really important, personal information. So this means like that in the long term, we really need to ensure and to work on it that these quantum computers cannot affect our security systems as we are used to have them now. So it's actually a really big challenge, which, it's maybe also not so easy to understand because it's really, really technological and physically, and it's not so easy. But this is also one of the goals of our project, of the pqreact project, because we want to let's say bring those topics closer to the society. So let's say the main innovation of our project is that if we think about what I just mentioned, like addressing the previously challenges, the main objective of our pqreact project is that we are going to design, develop, and to validate a framework for a faster and smoother transition from classical to quantum resistant solutions for a wide variety of contexts and algorithms and usage domains.
How do you see this impact applying this project now? Because post-quantum cryptography is a really not just complicated field, but is it actually shown? Are we finding applicants? How is this experience?
We understand the big role that those companies, medium-sized enterprises, and researchers play in technological innovation implementation. So this is why we launched these open calls, to be able to attract those businesses, because that we need them to help us develop testing and scaling of our post-quantum solutions. So let's say without them it's not possible. And of course we always it's like a problem that affects all of us, and so the solution is like to work on it together with the professionals that we have, luckily. And yes, also like just maybe 2 facts about this open call. So we have 2 within this project, and we just opened 1 actually. So coming back to your point, the deadline to apply is the 30th of September till 5 in the afternoon. You can apply. So to everyone that is listening and maybe once has a great idea to join our project is welcome to apply. What I just wanted to say regarding the point that you asked me to is that, yes, it is not so easy so far to find people that apply, because as this is a niche topic, and also like as I told you, it's not so close to everyone. So you need, to really search also like for applicants that want to apply, or that have also the background about post-quantum let's say solutions to provide. So but yes, we are still at the beginning of those open calls, and we hope like that we can intensify the promotion and so on of the project. And yes, we are hoping for more applications to be able to face these big challenges of fast quantum.
Let's hope this discussion we're having here today inspires and encourages this niche to apply, right?
Exactly.
So your role, Christine, here, I bet it's as similar as Maja explained us before in womentecheurope.eu. You're also managing these open calls.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, together with Maja. Yes, we are managing these open calls and also some other, let's say, outputs of the project itself. So it's not only about the open call. There are like always in those big projects, also like some other outcomes or outputs you need to work on. But mainly, yes, it is. As we are in this project, not the technical partner, we are more focusing on the open calls.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And how do you love it? Are you enjoying it? How is your experience so far?
Yes, Maja is smiling. No, I really enjoy it. I can just, yeah, I think this is maybe the point of view of a project manager, and especially in these European funded projects. I just, at many points, I really can relate to what Maja said already. So it's like, here you really, you have this feeling of, okay, we're doing here a big thing, we're doing great things, we are working on innovation, and if you are like already a person that is like curious, that like needs innovation, that cannot like basically or wants to change the status quo, so it's like really enjoyable, this work, because for me, at least, also like the big idea behind is that we are coming all from different countries, but in the end we are facing all the same challenges and threats, and in the end we are able to find and work on a unified solution that is helping all of us to grow also, like to take a step forward into our future. So for me, this is like a big motivation, and especially in the framework of the European Union, let's say. So yes, it's
beautiful.
good. It's great.
In this today's podcast, we have two really big needs which are involved in technology. But since you are both working on the roots of these projects, how do you see this aligned somehow? Is there any sort of connection?
Yeah, in certain projects for sure they are overlapping, especially like the ones that we had. EMPO Women, currently it's not open, but it's going to open, and Women Tech, they're quite similar, and they're targeting women in deep tech. So we did have some applicants that were on both sides. I see the common denominator is definitely innovation. And of course, and technology, and yeah, I think this is where we are all on the same page.
And yeah, exactly. And one main point I would say is also that these open calls, of course, they have in common to help those small medium enterprises to develop, right? So this is a big point, because like there are so many great people outside there that really can contribute to achieve good things here. And mainly the factor why they cannot like progress or proceed like so fast is, of course, the lack of money. So these open calls is like a factor that also somehow combines that they are able to develop in this regard like faster.
And especially I think it's important that we mention the fact that with these open calls, we are trying to support early stage deep tech startups, which means because it's the most risky time for a startup, because a lot of investors and venture capitalists, they maybe not invest in such early stage startups because of the risk. And with these funds, we are enabling these ideas that might, they might become great ideas, and we support them. As if they wouldn't be supported with the funding, then they would never come to a stage of minimum viable product, because they would not have money, they would not have time, because a lot of them they start as this is my side project, and then becomes bigger and bigger and bigger because it's their passion. But you don't live from passion, you need to pay the bills. So here is where we come in.
It's like an invitation to say now or never. Let's say these open calls. Let's say if I want to grow, it's now or never, and you need to take the chance.
To the audience listeners, if you think you're a good fit, go ahead and apply to any of both of these initiatives, because there's womentecheurope.eu and pqreact. They're both open till the 30th of September, 5 p.m. Central. And you can either go ahead to their official websites, which I'll leave the links down below. And otherwise, you can just go to our cascadefunding.eu platform, which is brand new, by the way, and there you have the direct link to apply. Right, we are actually running out of time, so let's go. Before closing this episode, let me show you this last section, which is, let's say, more enjoyable. No, but let's move forward. And I'm going to raise a question from the last guest, okay? Which in this case, it's Guillermo Ibarra, okay? And to sum up the question, because it was pretty long, where do you think research and development in technology is heading? And what will be the key technologies that will drive innovation in different industries in the future?
Taking, the way back to the project pqreact, I would say, as I just mentioned, like, the quantum computers is a big thing. We see what we are able to achieve already with artificial intelligence. So if you maybe check on those videos that are like in social media about, like politicians and so on that are just not real, just imagine what these computers could do to us, how they could harm us. So I think this is one of the main challenges, and that needs really big attention and big research activities.
If I would have to pick, let's say, two from the deep tech, I would say cybersecurity and med tech, because we also see there's so much innovation and advancement coming from the med tech. Cybersecurity, everything is online these days, and coming from cybersecurity, I know that once you're online, you're not safe. Post-quantum, that's why European Union is trying to, make us think and develop projects in this field, because they are looking into the future. Like, we need to protect. Just think about the events, the geopolitical events that happened in the last few years. I mean, with one click, hackers can go and disable or freeze the whole country, the whole medical system, if you will. All the hospitals can go blank. We are very vulnerable in this case.
We are.
So I think cybersecurity, post-quantum, and all these things is like, let's do it.
Exactly.
Okay, girls, so thank you for answering that question. Let's go to the very last section, where you have to offer us, listeners, a piece of advice, fun facts, and raise a question for the next guests.
Okay, so an advice to the listeners. Well, I mean, if you get to know now a bit like what we are doing and how like you are able to receive funds through the different programs of the European Union. So my advice is check on those funds, check what the European Union is like offering us, how they are also, let's say, investigating and doing huge investments in research activities. So this is my advice. Check on that. There are great opportunities. It's a big chance. And yes, as I already told you, like, it's now or never. Then, not maybe just related to this call, but in general, I mean, check on it. There are great opportunities. And yes, it's a big and really good initiative. To grow.
I'm trying to think of a fun fact, but I don't know in what sense am I supposed
anything.
to.
Literally your personal life. That's really interesting as well. Actually, let's tell listeners where you're now. What are you now?
I am located in Athens at the moment. So yeah, the good part about working remotely is that you just go around, and I think this is also one of the things that kind of adds value to you as a project manager, because you put yourself in different environments and you talk to people, and the more you talk to people and just mention what you do, believe me, a lot of people are like, you're a project manager. At first they're like, oh, and then I say, for you, funds, and everybody's like, ping. Okay, I have this amazing idea. Do you think I can get some money? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, maybe that's a fun fact when you say that.
And I can work from home. Wow. Another point.
Yeah, but it's not all roses and unicorns, because we work a lot. So fun fact, you work a lot as a project manager.
This is a fun fact, maybe.
Bad news.
Yes. And maybe fun,
No, but
it's not a fun fact, I don't know, but as you see, we are both from different backgrounds, and it's really a lot about your own way of learning, the effort you put like personally into it to get on the track with all those different projects, because in the end, as Maja also said, they are all from different fields. So another project we have is Spade, for example, that is like about drones and agriculture. So it's totally different. So you need to like know a lot in lots of fields, let's say.
yeah,
To also
Yeah.
be up to date is important.
I'm always interested in what motivates us as project managers to do what we do, because I know what motivates me, but I'm curious because usually, you know, people in general, they're always like, I have to go to work, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like that. Like, you know I have a lot of, and sometimes I get overwhelmed with work and stuff. Of course, it's normal, but I like my projects, and I think this is very important, and this is what motivates me. Maybe one project I like a little bit more than the other, you know, let's not go into favorites, but still, like I never met like a project manager that would not be kind of this energetic, empowered, motivated person, because I think this is also the type of character you need to be as a project manager, like I would say. Because if you are the grumpy type,
Curiosity, it's so
you don't
important.
last long.
Interest. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I like that question.
The next guest might not be a project manager, you know what I mean? So
Okay,
I'll transform the sentence onto what motivates you, you know, go to work every day. But once you, as you said, Maja, once you enjoy what you do, and in your case, you are literally helping people just be successful, I think that's really beautiful, and you can go to sleep with a good feeling. So yeah, and so this brings us to the end of the 4th episode of EFECTO CASCADA. So thank you very much, ladies, for attending today's episode. It was a pleasure to be with you and chat with you about these super awesome initiatives. And listeners, remember that this podcast will be available in all streaming platforms as well as in YouTube, because it's a video podcast. So don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss anything. And also check our new cascadefunding.eu platform, because it's brand new and you can apply to these initiatives and check new ones. You can also, if you wish, subscribe to our daily newsletter where we offer opportunities for all innovators. So until next time, explorers, let's keep exploring the fascinating world of innovation together. See you in next episode. Bye.
Thank you, Paula. Goodbye.